Hi guys!
Welcome back.
To another episode of Ray to Ray. So if you guys saw last week's episode, Ray was here. But this week she's back in California and I'm by myself.
I literally just came home right now as we are recording this. I stepped in the door and was like, okay, let's record. Me and Ray don't miss each other that much this week. We just saw each other.
Not yet.
Kind of sick of each other right now, but it's okay.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I know. I just wanted to make you feel bad.
No, of course not.
Yeah, do you guys want to talk to everyone about our weekend real quick and how much fun we had, everything we did?
It was so much fun. First of all, though, I just want to let everybody know we stayed safe.
Oh, yes.
Me and Ray, we have been staying safe since I've gotten corona tested. I've been staying safe, and so has Ray. So just putting that out there because I know everybody, gets a little skeptical on that part. But no, we were safe.
Understandably, totally understandable.
So I just want to put that explanation out there. But it was so much fun. We got there Friday. We went to golf and stuff. Or wait, no, it's not even golf and stuff. It's called Castles and Coasters.
Castles and Coasters, which is Phoenix's golf and stuff. I guess it's more like a Boomers, huh?
It's more it has a lot more stuff in general.
Yeah.
There's legit roller coasters. There's the ride that's the water bumper cars, the rider bumper boats, which is so cool. I wish we could have done that. They have a huge arcade and up and downstairs arcade. They have, of course, the mini golf courses, which were cool. The only thing that kind of was is we went at night and we didn't realize how dark it was gonna be. But
it was low-key kind of packed, so I'm glad we didn't do the roller coasters and the games and stuff because there was no sanitation in between that I saw. I mean, granted, we weren't over there, so I don't know. But I did see them wiping the golf clubs and stuff down. So
we wore masks the whole time.
Yeah, felt safe that we did at least the mini golf, did something, and I know we were safe doing it. But I would have been a little skeptical of getting on the rides and stuff just because I didn't see them cleaning.
You know what? You're
everything.
Right. That's a good point. And then we went to this bomb taco spot that they have out there in Arizona that we were skeptical because they're Ray was this place is so bomb, blah, blah, blah. But because we're from LA, we are the home of the best street tacos ever. So I was a little skeptical. However,
they were bomb.
Those tacos, and I don't know if it's because I hadn't eaten in a long time, but oh my gosh.
Sorry, guys. I'm taking my headband off. It's giving me a headache. But I'm going to leave that in because that's totally me. That's totally a me thing. But they're bomb. So bomb.
So
and then Saturday we woke up. We filmed our podcast that you guys just saw.
Which was so fun. We hope you guys like that one.
This guy, he'll be going up very soon. But like Ray said, this is literally 2 days after we filmed that other podcast. No, a day after. We filmed yesterday.
Literally a day.
Yeah, so I haven't had time to get that up yet. But
no worries.
Yeah, so that'll be up. We took some pictures for all of you guys for our Instagram page, so make sure you guys follow our Instagram. As always, it is down below. But yeah, we'll be posting there. That's how we get all of your guys' feedback, comments, everything. So make sure you guys follow us there. We took pictures for that. Then we went to birthday dinner at Spaghetti Factory, and we had a couple shots. And let me just say, can we just talk about the size of the Spaghetti Factory shots?
No, they were huge.
Ridiculous. Literally, okay, I have a Coke can right here. At least half of this was the shot.
No, she's not over exaggerating. And I personally have practiced throwing it back because you need to practice because it's not just something that comes naturally, at least not to me. So and with those shots, I literally took 5 gulps. Because I was this is just so much, and I couldn't do it.
Because we took 2 shots. The first one I was oh my god, that's a lot, and I had to split it. The second one, I took that like a fucking champ. But you could see my throat it wasn't a normal shot. It was huge. It was a double, at least. Yeah. But yeah.
Our waiter knew. He was nice. He knew. He knew we wanted to get down.
Yeah, he was with dinner, because we took the shots with dinner. The dinner came out, and then we got our shots, and he was I'm with it. And we're oh, and it was actually his birthday today. Today's our waiter's birthday.
Oh yeah.
So happy birthday.
To our waiter. We don't even know his name.
I don't remember. He told us. I don't remember, but he's from Missouri. So if you're from Missouri, you work at Spaghetti Factory in Phoenix, and you remember us, happy birthday.
Day from us to you.
We tried buying him a shot, but he said he couldn't drink on the job, so.
Yeah, which is whatever.
But yeah, so then we ended our night that we came back home, drank a little bit, hung out, and then this morning we had breakfast together, and then they started their long journey home with a lot of traffic.
I was just explaining to Ray how bad traffic was getting home. I was literally on the road for like 7 hours, I felt like just got home, and it's like, what time is it? 7 something.
You guys left at like 11:30.
It was so much traffic, and I get such bad road rage with traffic, like I really can't stand it. So I was telling Ray, I was like, I really need to just let all of that go right now, because I still have a little bit of that negative energy in me, and I'm like, let it go.
Okay, she's gonna get over it. We have 2, but that was pretty much what we've been up to, guys. But yeah, we have 2 very special guests coming on this week. And first, I just want to say, so the reason we didn't have a podcast that 1 week, because you guys, 2 weeks ago, I guess it would be now, is because we were going to have them on. But like I mentioned last week, we had a whole new setup, all this stuff, and I was going to film the podcast on my laptop because, whatever. I have a high-end laptop, so I was like, oh, okay, this is going to work. It'll be fine. Turns out my laptop's not powerful enough to run OBS and Discord, which is how we, do our podcast. So that's why I wasn't there, and I felt so bad because they got so ready and everything, and we had to cancel very last minute. But I'm glad we were able to get them on tonight. Yeah. Not too far from the original time we were supposed to have them on. But yes. I'm excited for this one.
I'm excited too. I can't wait. And I know they're excited because they have been telling me that they want to be on, and yeah, I can't wait. Let's get into it then.
All right, let's get it. Sorry, I'm pulling up my questions so I have them.
Okay.
But yeah, so Ray, you want to go ahead and call them on?
Yes. Okay. We will call them on. Okay, today in the Discord studio, we have our first dynamic duo. They have both been the crowns to VFO president and VFO vice president. They are both phenomenal dancers and singers. Azusa Pacific University graduates, give it up. And honestly, some of the most amazing, beautiful, funny, genuine, I could honestly go on and on, that I have ever met, individuals that I've ever met. So please welcome 2 of my college best friends, my fellow chismosas, if you will, Dani and Gabby.
Woo!
All right.
Okay.
Added the singers in there. What?
Okay, because you guys, I don't know who knows this, but people that know you guys know they can harmonize like no other. Like no other.
Gabby's the singer here. She's like actually had like
Gabby.
She goes off.
Gabby, but tell them Dani this too.
I know, yes. Dani has a beautiful voice. She says she doesn't, but she does.
So Ray hasn't met Dani officially yet. I know Gabby and Ray have met. They have had their classes together because we all went to APU. We're all APU alumni. Hey, represent. So anyways, so we all kind of know each other, but Dani and Ray don't, which is so weird because they were both kines majors.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Like how that happened.
Insane. Well, it's nice to meet you, Ray.
You too, finally.
And they were the same year. They literally graduated the same year, same major, and never had any classes together, which is weird because AP is such a small school.
And not only that, like the kines department to begin with is so small. So like it's such a
we all have the same.
Yeah. So it makes no sense how we just happen to be like the 2 people in the major that never had a class together. Like
right, I know. I was tripping out, but I'm fine. I'm so glad I'm finally getting to meet you.
You too. Awesome. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to know, how did Gabby and Ray meet? What was that like? Or did you? Oh wait, no. Actually, I already know how. It was through me. I mean, duh. But that was the thing. Was that Gabby was one of the people in our very, very first episode. Me and Ray would talk about how when we would introduce each other to each other's friends, we would have a spiel. We would have like our little introduction explaining like how we have the same name, how we have the same life, blah, 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 blah. Gabby definitely was one of the participants that heard that. So what was that like? Do you think we are as much alike as we claim to be?
Yeah. Well, first of all, like Ray Marici was the very first person ever, like my very first friend ever in college.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I think shortly after school started, Ray, you and I, like, we would always, every year, like, somehow had an early class. So we would always meet up early in the food court on the West Campus.
Yes.
And so one day, Ray Garcia was sitting there. And so you, Ray, were like, oh, this is my friend Ray. Let me tell you how similar we are.
Sounds about right.
So you gave me the whole like story and introduction, and I thought that was so cool. I was like, wow, you know, you guys have a lot of just like similarities like in your background. I would say personality though, like you guys are somewhat the same, but also very different in terms of personality, in my opinion. You just have a lot of like common things regarding like school, family, like just different background like that.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
We talked about that this weekend too, how like we're just totally opposite people that have like the same similarities, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it.
Outside similarities, but inside we are definitely so different people. Okay, so you guys talked about that. Dani, how did you meet me?
You through VFO, obviously, but I knew Gabby first.
Yes.
And then you joined the team. I think Gabby joined first.
Yes.
And then you joined like the next semester. And I remember Gabs introduced me. You're like, oh yeah, she was in my alpha group. Yeah, like OG.
Okay, I forgot about that.
Friend. Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah. So I met you through Gab, but we hit it off like right away.
Yes, we did. Okay, so tell me about your guys' friendship. How did you guys meet? What was that like?
So, I met Gabs also through VFO.
Yes. Wait, for those who don't know what VFO is, because we're mentioning it a lot, VFO is AP's dance team. Shout out to VFO. If anybody watches this that's on VFO, we love you guys. And hip hop team, yes, hip hop. And like I said, they both had the chance to be VFO president and vice president, which was so cool. So anyways, I'm sorry, Dani. Go on.
You're good. So yeah, I was a sophomore, and then Gabs was a freshman. And we didn't really, like, freshman year, she was so quiet. Gabs was, like, so, like, which is crazy to think about now because she's so, you know, she's hilarious and loud and everything. But, yeah, we weren't really, like, that close freshman year because, you know, Gabs was always hanging out with, like, the little freshmen, and I was with the like, the older people, whatever. But I was, like, I've always wanted to, like, talk to Gabs, and I was like, she seems so sweet. So like I think towards the end of her freshman year, my sophomore year, we got closer, and then from there it just took off.
Inseparable. Okay, Dani, Gabby, you tell me your point of view of meeting Dani.
Yeah. Okay. So I remember my very first interaction with Dani. it was at the audition.
She's like, I wrote it down in my diary, actually. Like, I never want to forget this day.
Well, okay, like, kind of like what Dani said, like, I was kind of, like, a very reserved, I'm still kind of shy, but definitely not as reserved as I was, like, freshman year of college. So, I auditioned for the hip hop team, and I remember I went in to the auditions, and they have the audition table where you fill out the form. And I remember I was wearing this black jersey. I go up to the table, and I like get a form. Like Dani hands me the form. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I love your jersey!" And internally, I was like, "Oh my gosh, she noticed me."
I'm so dead.
I love that.
And then I was like, "Oh, thank you." She's like, "Yeah, I've been looking for one just like that." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I don't remember where I got it, but yeah, I like to dance."
Oh my god.
So then obviously I made the team, and then kind of like what Dani was saying, like at the beginning we didn't really have that much interaction just because I would hang out with the freshmen of the team, and the freshmen of the team were very close, and so I was always with them. But kind of saying, like, I always wanted to be friends with Dani too. And then I think second semester of my freshman year, we were dyads, which is like we get paired with someone on the team. Yeah, and so then I remember like learning about Dani's life and like her family and all of this stuff. And then after that, I knew she was a commuter, so myself and one of the other freshmen, like we would invite Dani like just to go hang out, and so we got close through there, and now she's like, I can't live without her.
Yeah. So you guys literally have become like family, like, right?
100%.
Oh yeah.
How did please like elaborate on that, like friends becoming so close, like family? Like, what do you think made it that way with you guys? Because it's like you guys were like that, and I mean, not that many other people from VF are like that with you guys now. So like, what was it that really was just like, you guys are like family now, you know?
Drew you guys to each other, I guess.
Yeah. Thanks for helping.
I think like when Gabby was saying when we were dyads, when we were paired up together, we talked about just life in general so much, and we'd always find out ways we can like pray for each other. And I remember like both sharing with each other like the darkest times in our lives, like what we were going through, and like, you know, so I think our real foundation, like the start of it, was like prayer. We were always like, how could we like pray for each other, you know? Because we were like, you know, we had our moments, like I said, we were freaking struggling, you know?
Yes, and I think, college will do it to you.
Yeah, for sure. And then, but I was just, personally for me, I was so drawn to Gabby because she's so like attentive and intentional and, you know, so extremely supportive. And you know, when people say, oh, like, I'll pray for you, like, you know, she's the type of person that actually like will, and she'll like always check up on you. And I was like, oh man, this girl is like a godsend. I'm like serious. Like I've been praying, like, because I was a commuter and have many like close relationships. I was like, Lord, I need like someone like to send me someone like a lifelong friend.
I'm gonna cry.
I know.
No, really. So I have many times, but like really, I was like, Gabby's like such a godsend, like for real. Yeah, like just obviously like just sharing life. Yeah. And then when she got to meet my family, like, just like it's amazing.
Yeah. I agree.
That's definitely Gabby, because even like this one little class we had with each other, I mean, like obviously me and Gabby aren't as close as like all of you guys, but we had that one class together, and I felt the same way. So that's just Gabby. Like that's just a true like characteristic of Gabby. Like, yeah.
Right. You're just so drawn to her and her goodness, and her spirit's just like, man, like angel, like for real.
For real.
That many times, Gabby. I told you that many times.
Now she's gonna be super humble. Watch, because that's Gabby.
I know.
Again.
I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not. I'm really not.
She's like, what are you talking about? No, it's true.
No, I mean, I can definitely say, you know, the same about all three of you, because I think what kind of like what Ray was asking earlier, like what kind of drew us like in our friendship. And I think like, I don't know, I also had this prayer too, like in college, of like, Lord, just like bless me with just people I can do life with, you know, or people who I can, you know, count on or share life with. And he blessed me with not only one, but like tenfold, you know. But there's like select few who like really became family. And I think it's just that like genuine part of each of you guys, you know, as friends. And just you guys carry so much empathy and just joy. And so you know, that also comes from, you know, family too. So when I met Dani's family, like they immediately like took me in and like wrapped their arms around me, and, you know, even like my family with you guys. So yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I could attest to both, you know, because I've met Dani's family and Gabby's family, and it's true. They genuinely treat you like you just feel like you're a part of the family right as you walk in. And it's like so heartwarming, and just like you feel so grateful and blessed to even be there and let them love on you and let them shower you with all that, you know. So yeah, anyways, love your guys' family. I love both of them so much. So shout out to your guys' family. Hopefully they watch this.
Yes.
Oh, they will.
They will.
Okay, good. Tell them I said hi.
Ray Garcia has to meet our fans, and Ray Garcia has to come down to Modesto and meet the fans.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Bro,
Oh my
you
gosh,
gotta
Ray,
come.
you would love them so much.
Let's go.
No,
Ray.
you would
So
love them
fun.
so much. Me and Gabs have been trying to take a trip to Modesto, and then all of this stuff happened, and we were like, dang, that took a damper on our plans. But yeah,
We'll
it was
plan something.
in time.
We'll all go. We'll just do it.
Seriously, let's go.
Okay, but anyways, because you guys brought up faith and being and praying for someone or forgot to put someone in your life that is a lifelong friend. And I think that's beautiful. I think when I first started college, I was kind of like that too. I was going through just a lot of like relationships that weren't working out, and I think that's why God sent me you guys, because he knew I needed genuine friends who were there for me and really showed me oh my God, I don't want to get emotional. Really showed me what true friendship was. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore. So please talk about how you guys, like how that was like for you guys, like what your friendships were before college and then after that, you know, like how you saw that difference, you know?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think prior to college and meeting, because I would say the friends that I made in college, like there's a handful who I know will be lifelong friends. So I would say prior to college, a lot of my high school friendships, which I still keep in contact with, like people from high school, but I would say like it was more of like recreational, like enjoyment, like we're on the same teams or like we are in the same activities. And so that's kind of like going through everyday high school life. Whereas going into college, I think college was the first time really that I ever kind of opened up and let people into like my personal life and like my struggles and like all of these things. And I think I've shared this with you, Ray, of how like I had never shared with anybody things that I was like going through or like kind of talking about emotional things or life things. And so it was very different. It was very different for me. It was kind of like stepping into like an unknown like pool of friendship. But so, you know, I mean, obviously we've all like engaged in activities that we like to do, whether it's dance or like all these other things. But not only that, like it goes deeper. So it's like I do everyday life with you guys, or if I feel like I'm struggling with something or, you know, whatnot, like I know I can call or text you guys and you guys will be there. And so it's more, there's more of a personal aspect to it versus like we see each other every day at school and we do the same thing. So I would say like that's like a difference that I've seen, which has been so cool and like such a blessing because like people truly are like God's gift to us and like we're not meant to go through things alone. And that's something that I for sure learned and really grasped onto, you know, with my college friendships.
Right.
So
definitely.
Yeah. Dani, do you have anything to add?
Say mine's like pretty similar. Like I had a really, really close friend group in high school. We were all on the cheer team together. And we were like all BFFs, and like I still talk to a lot of them too today, but I feel like, you know, because I was always like the religious one in the group, not like super like, you know, but they would always like, because I'm super like into my faith and like my whole family is, so they'd always come over to my house, and, you know, like we always have like Jesus everywhere, and like, you know, they always talk to my mom, you know, about the faith.
Yes.
I was always like that friend, that house, like that was just me. But
that house.
But I would, you know, we wouldn't really talk about that much, even though like just the faith aspect, you know. But yeah, when I entered college, like it totally was like a whole new thing. Like I opened up so much more.
Yes.
And I feel like, yeah, these friendships are more like lifelong, you know, because I get to share like my innermost, like being with these people, you know, and I wasn't really used to that in high school. When, like I said, I still talk to like my girls from high school. They're still amazing, but it's different, you know? And you can like literally pour out like every little single thing about you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's just, it's different, but
and so, like, you guys mentioned, like, you know, being the religious friend or, you know, the friend with the faith. Do you guys think your experiences would have, because me and Ray have talked about this before, how we both grew up, you know, Christian, but not, like, you know, super by the book, Bible, going to church every day, but still strong in our faith, and how, like, we appreciate APU so much because it opened up so much more for us. Do you guys think your college experiences would have been different had you not gone to APU or, like, a Christian school? Like, how do you think that would have had, like, an effect on your, like,
on your faith,
faith or like potential friendships?
Yeah, I've kind of thought about that before, because I know aside from APU, there were a couple of like public colleges that I was looking at, and it's just so crazy because I can't even imagine what my life would be like had I gone to like a public university or public school. But like in talking about like faith, I mean, my faith has always been something that's been a huge part of me. And like what Dani was saying, like in high school, I was known as like the goodie. Like that's what like people would look at me as, but also people knew that like I stood in my faith. And so I don't know, because I feel like college too, like can sometimes bring about, just because you go to like a Christian campus too, like doesn't mean like you're sheltered from like adversities or trials either. And so like, there's definitely moments where your faith is tested or you go through trials, but I think it would have been different. I don't know. I feel like had I gone to a public university, I kind of would have been more alone in certain things or certain things I was going through, versus like going to like a Christian university and having people alongside me with faith that would help support me, you know, and we learn from each other and all of that. So I don't know. I think it's just so interesting to think about like what life would be.
That's crazy.
Like I did my freshman year at a public school and I hated it. Like I was so alone. I came home after the first year because I couldn't do it. But at APU, it's just like everyone's so welcoming, and you just have, you have the support system. So yeah, it's crazy to think like if I would have stayed all 4 years at that public school, like what would have happened? Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah,
so crazy. I say it all the time. Like I am grateful for going to APU because in that moment of my life, I needed God. I needed Him to and be not even just, but also be surrounded by people that really encouraged me to keep going and never give up. And like Dani and Gabby were saying, like as far as friendships go, I really realized because it's different when you have, high school friendships. And like Gabby was saying, it's kind of superficial, you don't really get deep into who you are. What are you really get to show off your accomplishments and you really get to show off your good times with those friends. But when you get to show your defeat and like your true sorrow and your like what you're really going through with your friends, and they're there to embrace that and help you with that, and you feel that, it's like, whoa, it's something that I never had experienced before that. Like before meeting you guys, I had never experienced that, right? Like really just allowing. And so I feel like because of that, I'm like, I don't expect anything less now. I don't expect, I don't want to say anything less.
You know your worth.
Well, no, because I know what real community is. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like when somebody can really enjoy your achievements, but also enjoy and cheer on who you are when you're at your lowest, and let you know, this isn't the end. Like we have a long way to go as a community. Like we're here for you. Let's go through this together, like that is so powerful. That's a whole different type of friendship when you can do that. And so that's something I learned, and I'm so grateful. I will forever be grateful for APU for that, for showing me. Because like you said, when you walk into APU, it's like people are so like genuine and want to know your life story, and like I want to know who you are, and I had never experienced that before.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh, you want to know about my life? Oh my God, you want to know about me and my real struggles, and you want to like care on me and pray on me and love on me? Like what? So
Like, what a concept.
like what a concept, right? So yeah, it's something else. It really is.
For sure. Yeah. One moment that kind of like comes to my mind, like with you, Ray, was like one time you came over the place that I was living in on campus, and I remember like we sat down at my kitchen table in my place, and like I don't know, we just started talking life, and then you like opened up to me about what you were going through, and then just like all these other things. And so I remember that being kind of like, I don't know, it was just such a like pivotal like point like in our friendship, or not pivotal, but like it was just a very important point of like the start of our friendship, like a deeper friendship for sure.
Yeah, I remember that moment with each of you, with Gabs. I remember because you let me in too on what you had really gone through, and Dani too. And when I had that moment with Dani where I let her in and she let me in, and I was like, wow, like these girls are so strong. Like they have really just went through and not achieved, what word am I looking for? Like conquered their struggles, you know, like they have really come such a long way. And you wouldn't know that from seeing you guys dance like all bad on APU dance floor and on the stage, like, you know, and not even, you guys wouldn't even know that just seeing how happy you guys always are and how welcome you guys always are. Like it seems like you guys don't go through any struggles, that your guys' life is perfect, you know. But when I see that and I see who you guys really are, it's like, wow, these girls are one of a kind, you know? So yeah, I remember both of those moments with you guys where I was like, oh yeah, these are forever girls for sure. Okay, anyway, that mushy gushy stuff. No, but thank you for bringing that up. Honestly, thank you for bringing up faith, because I feel like we don't talk about it enough, and I think like that is such an important part when it comes to friendships. Because well, also too, like what do you guys think about friends that don't share common religions? Like how do you think that would work? Because I feel like it is true, religion is such a big part when you're going through those hard times, and friendship does really become so strong when you're able to share those tough moments and be that vulnerable. And I feel like faith does come a long way in when you're doing that, and when you're in community with your friends and you guys pray together. Like the amount of times we had prayed together just for the heck of it, like those were some of the most powerful prayers. We would break down and cry, you know what I mean? And like that's magical. And so I don't know, like to think, what do you guys think about that?
For the answer, you bringing that up, I just thought of something. Do you remember, Ray? It was my senior year of high school, and it was our competition at APU. We had a competition at APU.
Yeah.
And it was like right before we went on, and remember Amanda was like, oh, let's just pray real quick. And so all the girls prayed, and like I don't even remember what she said, but I remember all of us getting onto the mat, like trying not to like cry. Like we were like, okay, how are we going to perform without like crying? And then I remember we won whatever. We got first place. We did everything. And I just remember our team just being so much closer, getting ready for the next competition. I don't know if you remember that, but it's just like going off, like praying with those people that you have this like community with, this family with. It just opens up so many more emotions and such a stronger bond. But yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why that came into my head, but yeah, I was like, that was so long ago. I just think it's crazy that it was a competition at APU, and little did we know. Yeah. You know.
That's true. Yeah.
Craziness.
But back to my question. So, what do you guys think about? What do you guys think about that? Or I'm sure you guys have had friends with different religions and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, a lot of I've had, like, prior to college, you know, like, they all were mostly Christian, but not really practicing, you know, like, I was always the one practicing, and I wasn't the one that was always like was hounding them, like, oh, you need to pray, you need to do this, you know. But I just think that I would always make sure, like, when they would encounter me and my family, like, they were loved, they were never judged, like, they were welcome at all times. And, you know, that speaks so much more, like, the action of that than, you know, the words.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think, like, I didn't even need to say anything. Like, I truly, like, and I think that my friends really took that to heart. And I think that's what, like, drew all of my relationships together, you know, because they would ask me, like, why are you so, like, how can you, why do you believe in me? Or, like, why do you do this? Or how are you so, like, strong with your family? It's like, you know, it's like, if they ask me, I'll say the Lord, but I'm not going to, like I said before, I'd never, like, hound them on that, whatever. But
Yeah.
like I said, it's all about the action, how you care for your friends. Just
Yes.
making sure that they're known, seen, and loved. That's just, you know, that's everyone's goal. Like, that's what we should all be doing. But yeah, it's interesting.
I love that.
Gabs?
Yeah, totally. I would like say kind of, you know, along with what Dani was saying. I mean, like I have friends, and I have close friends too, who either don't, you know, have the same faith as I do, or who don't like practice anything at all. And so my life, just, I guess, legacy or whatever, like, it's just, I want to love others the way that Jesus loves me. And so, like what Dani was saying too, like, it's not sometimes, like, you know, with people who don't come from the same faith or like same faith background as me, it's not always like throwing the Bible or like throwing all these things at them. Sometimes, like, you know, it's not always like sometimes the things that you say, but like how you stand by someone that can make such an impact. And then sometimes in that way, that has opened like gateways and conversations for me to share my faith with them. And because like I get the same question, like, why are you so nice? Or like, why do you talk to me? Or like, I've had someone tell me like you could be over here with all these people, so why are you choosing to be here with me or like talk to me? And like Dani was saying, it's like, I see you and I want you to know how loved you are, you know, and, you know, the Lord loves you. And that's why I choose to love you, or that's why I choose to just stand with you. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of just like loving on others the way that the Lord has loved me. So, yeah.
That was beautiful.
Anyway,
Are you crying in the club, Grace?
Listen, every time we're on FaceTime, every time I'm on FaceTime with these ladies, I know to have a tissue box right next to me because they always talk to my soul. Like, they are just, yeah, we always get into really good, deep conversations. So anyways, no, but I love when you guys talk about that because it's so inspiring, and I know people need to hear that, you know? And it's true, like you said, like, it's so much more about action than it is about just talking the talk. You really have to walk the walk. And when you show people how much love, because when you have the Lord, love just pours out of you, you know, without you even realizing. And I see that with both of you guys. Like, it just shines right through both of you. And that's why everybody is so drawn to you guys and attracted to you guys, because they can tell, you know, from a miles away. And so yeah, I kind of wanted you guys to shed light on that because I know somebody needed to hear that. I needed to hear that, you know.
I was gonna say that. A lot of people need to know that. I don't think enough people know it. So.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Okay, but anyway, so back to our friend questions. Ray has a couple questions that she wants to just ask us here and there, and then we'll see where the conversation flows from there.
Well, these are questions we came up with together. It's not all me.
Oh yeah, yeah, we came up. It's like because you guys are, like I said before, you guys are our first dynamic duo.
So yeah,
and so.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying we made up these questions. It was 4 questions, 4 best friends. It looks better in writing because like the number 4 and all that. But anyways, so yeah, so Ray will go ahead
do you want
and
me to show them so they know how aesthetically pleasing all your hard work. that you did.
Oh, it's 5, it's 4. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, so like Ray said, they. Oh my God, I can't speak. You would think I've never been on camera. Okay. They're our first dynamic duo. So Ray and I wanted to bring a segment to the podcast where we're just gonna have dynamic duos on here, dynamic duo best friends. So they're gonna be our first segment of this. So these are gonna be the 5, 4, 3, 2, I don't know, 4 questions.
Stop making me pull up my hands. You know my hands look so janked right now.
4 questions that we're going to ask each of these dynamic duos that we have on. So the first one, and I guess Ray and I will just piggyback off each other asking them. Yeah. So the first one, what do you guys value in a friend? So like not necessarily like each other, but just what do you value in a friend in general?
Dani, do you want to go?
I'm like, hello, I'm not hearing anybody talk.
I don't want to talk over.
I'm always pausing. I'm like, I'm so awkward. Like,
who's gonna talk first?
Go for it, Gab. You can go first.
Okay. Yeah. I would just say, like, for a friend in general, just someone who is intentional, someone who's genuine. I value people who are empathetic. I really do. I think there's just something when someone carries empathy. I don't know. There's just ways to go about certain situations that, I don't know. I feel like empathy adds so much value. I don't know. Just people who like to have fun too. You know, I would say a lot of my friends like to have fun, and we have fun in our own ways. So yeah, and then someone who like just I know I can count on, whether I need a laugh or whether I need a shoulder to cry on. Yeah, just people I can count on who carry those characteristics. I'm trying to think of anything else. Honesty too is something that I value. So yeah.
Definitely. What about you, Dani?
I think like all of those same. But definitely empathy and honesty are really important to me. You know, I so appreciate when someone's straight up rather than beating around the bush. Like, that's a true friendship right there. I love that. And compassionate, you know, in all aspects of life, like really showing compassion. I think that's really important to me. And, you know, I love someone that can take a joke, that loves to joke. I love to laugh, you know. I feel like I'm blessed. Like all the friends that I've made, y'all are hilarious. Like I love laughing. It's like my favorite thing in the world. Oh yeah, those things are really important to me.
I love those answers. That's true.
Yeah.
Same. Okay, next question. Oh man, I'm so sorry I lost them. Okay. What is your guys' favorite quality about each other? So, Dani, you go first since Gabby went first last time. What's your favorite quality about Gabs? Only one. I know there's many, but only one. Okay, maybe 2.
Okay.
I'll give you 2.
Well, like I stated before, you know, she's so intentional and oh wait, did I say attentional? Intentional. I had another word in my mind. I like had a brain fart right there. Intentional and attentive. Like when you're having a conversation with her, like she's all in. I feel like it's so rare these days when you have a conversation with someone. Like whenever I talk to Gabs, like we have full on eye contact, and I feel like that just doesn't happen these days. Everyone's like, oh, like looking down at their phone or like so distracted,
that is my biggest pet peeve when having a conversation with somebody is when they're just on their phone and I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
We talked about that a lot.
It's so rare, like to see if like someone's actually listening, but when I'm talking to Gabs, like I know she's like fully engaged, which I appreciate and love. And yeah, like I said before, intentional, like in all aspects, she's awesome. I can go on and on, you know, but
only two. We have a time limit on this, Dan. Come on now. Okay, go ahead.
Keep it snappy.
Oh man, I know the same thing goes for me. Like there's so many things that I can list about Dani, and I don't know, that are just my favorite. I would say like, just Dani's my favorite, like, person. I would say, like, I mean, all of you guys are my favorite people to just laugh with, but Dani and I, we laugh about the dumbest things, but that's what, like, just, we get entertained so easily. And we're, like, always on the same page. Dani and I were talking about this the other day. Like, we're always on the same page. And so that's so helpful because I know, like, either sometimes I'm not, like, crazy for thinking something or, like, we both, like, understand. She's very understanding. I would say that's a quality that I love. And then just to kind of add, like, bonus, I think, I mean, for everyone, I would say for everyone here, but also because, like, Dani and Ray are two of, like, my closest best friends. Like, both of you guys know how to make people feel like they're, like, the most important person in the world, like, when they need it. But you guys are also people who, like, will ground people when they're at their, like, highest. You're like, okay, like, kind of, like, you know.
Okay, come back down now. Come on.
Yeah.
That's definitely Ray.
Good.
That's definitely Ray.
Yeah. I
can agree with, yes.
Like, this weekend, not to interrupt you, Gabby, sorry. This weekend,
No.
we were at work. My mom had posted baby pictures. I was like, oh, I've always been a cute kid. And she's like, as a joke. And she was like, okay, come on. I was like, geez, sorry.
She's all, calm down.
Calm down. Don't get ahead of yourself now.
That is such a Ray statement.
And then she went and found, like, the one ugly picture. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm on now. Let me see the
Look
ugly
at this
picture.
one. Look at this one. You want to take back that statement?
No, I'm just kidding. But at the same time, you know it's out of love. I would never.
I know. But that's why it's funny. It was just, like, a perfect example of, like, that's totally you. Like, but at the same time, you're like, oh, but you can get back up there. You just gotta do this, this, and this. But be humble doing it. Like, that's just you. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm always the one who will humble you for sure.
But I will also be a cheerleader. I am also a really big cheerleader.
Okay. No, you're the biggest, one of the biggest cheerleaders. No, but I'm saying is, like, what I'm saying is sometimes, like, we need that friend who will do that. And I think I've shared this with you, Ray, too. Like, sometimes we need that friend because either sometimes people are afraid to, like, kind of point something out, or the whole accountability aspect, too. I think it's so, like, in everyone here, like, I think is something that's so important that we all carry, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Awesome.
To bounce off what Gab said about Ray, just to, like, re-emphasize how when Gabby said it's so important for someone to make you feel like you're the most important one in the room, you really do that. You're truly a light. You do make people feel known, seen, and loved. That just needs to be emphasized. Ray is amazing like that.
Oh, thank you. This is not about me. This is about you guys, though. But
I just had to say that because it's so true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love you. Thank you. Okay. Please don't make me cry on this. We are gonna put this on the internet, so please don't.
It's inevitable, though. It's inevitable.
It's gonna happen. Next question is probably gonna be, like, the hardest question for you guys, because I know if I was asked it, it'd be the hardest. Because about yourself, what do you think makes you a good friend? Like, yourself, which I know it's all hard because it tests, your humble.
And these two ladies right here, they hate bragging about themselves. And I'm like, if I was as pretty as you two, I would not know how to act.
See,
what do you mean?
She's the same person. Okay, you're acting too high up here. Come back down.
I'm just saying, though, like, you guys are the most humble. And it's like, you guys are so, okay, no, I'm just going to stop. But go ahead and answer the question.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's such a hard question to answer. Like, anything about yourself is such,
that's
if
true.
You're a humble person, it's hard to answer questions about yourself. So that's why I was like, it's going to be the hardest one on this list.
Yeah.
This is really tough. I'm, like, wrapping my brain. I'm going to go first because I'm really, like, I have no idea.
I'm sorry, was it, like, what we think the best quality is about us, like, as a person or as a, like...
As a friend.
As a friend. Like, you know that you are X way
your
And
friendships. Like this is what makes you like one of the best friends in your friendship relationships.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hard one.
Yeah.
Very hard one.
I would say like kind of what I shared earlier. It's just I love to love, and so like I always want my friends to know that they are loved by me, and so like I just always want to show that, whether that's through just like, I mean, I don't know, love just has so many different forms, and I try to exude that in different ways, whether that's just like being someone that they can just rant and talk to, or just someone who checks in on like my friends. I love checking in on my friends because that's like, I don't know, it's kind of what we talked about earlier. Like, it's one thing to say something, but like when you act upon it, that's just like, I don't know, like I just love, I care about my relationships so much that I'm like, it's not going to be surface level. Like, if you tell me that you need accountability here, or if you tell me that you're going through something, I'm going to check in on you, you know, or just like randomly remind you that you're loved. So,
I love that. That's awesome. That was like the best answer.
Go ahead, Dani.
Over here. It's so hard to follow Gabby's answer.
No.
Well spoken.
I know. That is one thing about Gabby, is that everything that comes out of her mouth is just so elegant and so just like perfectly said. Every sentence, and you're just like, wow, I get it. Just you're like lost. You're like lost.
You're so genuine.
And then she's looking at you, and then she's looking at you like, your turn to talk. I'm finished. And you're like, oh my gosh, I just got lost in your eyes.
I don't know.
You're like,
oh my gosh. Okay, enough about me, Dani.
Okay, Dani, come on now. Time limit. Just kidding.
Don't rush her. That's what
I know, it's so good.
Ray's like, whoa.
Dani's like, just for that, let it talk even slower.
I'm like, touche.
She's like, we're at 54 minutes now. I'm going to make it a 4-hour podcast just for you.
Okay. What makes me a good friend? I guess it's been something I've been working on a lot, even like since I've started college, but I feel like I'm a very attentive person. Like, whenever I'm having a conversation, like I'm all in too. Like, I really want to know everything, and I like to check in as well. And when I say when I like want to support you and pray for you, like I really mean it. And like, if you're a close friend of mine, you know, like if you're close with me, you're close with my family. And I feel like if you got me as a prayer warrior, you got my whole family as prayer warriors, you know? So I think I let you in and listen, and I like to go all in with anyone I'm really close with, so I guess.
No, that's a good answer, and it's true. I could attest to that. It's so true. Okay, it's my turn.
I think it's number 5. Because we were gonna skip 4.
Oh yeah. Okay. So this is a good one. This is a good one that I really want you guys to give me and Ray advice on how you think we could be better friends, or just like advice on friendship in general. Like, it doesn't have to be given to me and Ray, but I personally would like that. But if you were giving anybody advice on just how to be a good friend, you know what I mean? Or like if it was your sibling, your younger sibling, and you were like, this is how you be good to someone in a friendship, what would that look like?
I think I would say just love that person as much as you can. And there will be seasons of life in a friendship where you won't be able to talk or be in distance with one another, but that does not mean that you're a bad friend. If this is like in general, like,
speak on it.
If you know, like in life, you're gonna have those seasons where you're not as talking to each other as much, you're not as close, but just always know, like, just keep loving on them, even if it's from a distance. Just always show love as much as you can. I think that's the most important thing. And yeah, just exude that love. That's what I gotta say about that.
Like that love from a distance. Write that one down, right? Love from a distance.
Important.
Because sometimes it's true, you know, and sometimes you go through season with friendships where, you know, they don't really want your love at that moment, you know, and you know what that looks like for different people. Like when you're trying to love on them, you're trying to check in, you're trying to be in their lives and be supportive, and they just don't want to hear it, you know, and it happens a lot. And so from that moment on, you keep loving from a distance. You don't give up on that person. And I love that you said that, because that is truly a good friend. When you don't have to show it, but you can be there from a distance. So I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah. I don't know. Like, we've talked about it throughout the duration of this podcast, but like making sure that your actions follow up with your words. You know, because if you don't stay true to your word in a friendship, then like what is that? Like, what does that make that relationship? Like, you know, so I would say definitely, you know, staying true to your word, and kind of like, you know, there's the scripture that says iron sharpens iron. So making sure that, you know, you and your friendship, whatever friendship it may be, just making sure that you're always trying to make yourselves better. You know, I think that's one thing that I love about my friendships is that we always, you know, try to make one another better, you know, so we can be just people who, you know, leave an impact or do great things, you know, in this world. And so I would say that's my advice to be a good friend. I mean, there's a lot, but I feel like those are important components.
Yep.
Definitely.
And making each other better is like the most
That's
important.
key. That's the point of life. That is the point of life. And I talked about that a couple of episodes ago, where it's like, I want people in my life to keep me accountable, to call me out, because that will make me a better person. I am so far from perfect. All of you guys know that. And but I strive to get there, you know, and I fall. We all fall, but it's people that keep encouraging you. It's okay. Let's do this. Oh, you messed up there. Okay, now next time, but you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, it helps me. And I need that tough love sometimes. Like, I need people to be like, you know what you did, right? You know that was wrong, right? You hurt my feelings when you did this, right? You know what I mean? Because then, and I think it's important too. I was thinking about this the other day because one of my friends, Ashley, she doesn't like fighting with friends. And I know, like, this is not on topic, but like, I think we should normalize getting in fights with friends, because it happens. And when you get into fights with friends, that does not mean the friendship is over. I think so many people give up so easily on friendships nowadays. So easily. Like, oh, you don't agree with me on this? Boom, you're out of my life. I'm not talking to you anymore. And then that other person is just hanging there like, wait, what? Like, okay, I might not agree with you on that, but what? Like, let's have a discussion about it. Like, let's talk about it. And I feel like people are so scared to have that conversation of disagreement with friends. And it's like, no, that only makes you closer when you guys can rise above that. You know what I mean? So anyways,
no, like, in a weird way, it adds depth to someone's relationship when you're able, because I think you learn too about how someone else thinks aside from your own, because there's also like a sense of like, you have to put your pride down in any relationship that you have. You have to learn how to be receptive too to whoever you have a relationship with. So I would say that's definitely, because, you know, I have, you know, there's one friendship in my life particularly that I'm thinking of where we've had conflict. We've had our share of conflict, but like, there's been such a depth to that relationship, and there's so much that I've learned from that person, and like vice versa. So you learn, and I don't know.
That's been like a theme. One of Frey's favorite themes to talk about on this podcast is like, you know, friendship breakups, friendship fights, keeping, you know, communication, honesty, accountability. And I think fights, not saying like, oh, go pick a fight with your friends, but, you know, fights happen. It's a thing. And if you hold accountability, you're honest, you guys communicate, it's only going to make that friendship that much stronger, because there's another depth, like Gabby was saying, another level that you guys have conquered, and you guys are one step closer to being that quote unquote perfect friendship because you've overcome these obstacles.
Yeah,
and Ray have had our fair share of fights, some crazy ones too.
And nobody wants a yes man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nobody wants someone that's just going to be like, oh, yeah, because it's like, you don't grow from that. I don't take anything away from that, for like, as me personally, you know? And then it's like, you're not helping me grow in this life, and that's what I need. I don't need people to tell me that I'm perfect because I know I'm not. I don't need people to be like, no, it's all right. It's all right, you know? No, tell me. Be honest. Be upfront. And that's why it makes me sad that people aren't willing to, I don't want to say willing to get into fights, but just able to do that, because then it like shuts down their voice, and people that are afraid to speak up for what's hurting them. And I would hate to be that friend to make somebody else feel like they can't come to me when I hurt them or when I did something wrong. You know what I mean? So I want people out there to know, if your friend is doing something and it's hurting you, you have the right to let them know, like, hey, this is what's up. I am a valid participant in this relationship as well, and I deserve to be heard. So, anyways, I'm sorry.
No, that was perfect. Yeah. I was like, I think you just covered everything we were all trying to say.
Yeah.
It was a little rant. But yeah, that was the end of our questions.
Those are our cute little four questions, four best friends. Oh, I messed that up. Oh my god. Anyways, no, so to end this on like a light topic, and because I want Ray to like get to know our dynamic a little bit, I want you guys to share some of the funniest memories that either you guys have of each other, I mean, or all three of us if you want to include me. I mean, you don't have to, but you know.
Okay, well, I literally, I was talking to Dani the other day because I knew you were going to ask about, like, funny moments. And so I was like, Dani, like, I feel like we've had so many hilarious moments, and a lot of them are, like, you have to be there to, like, understand.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to think, like, I'm still trying to think of one with Dani. Like, there's so many that comes into my mind, but then also it's a lot of, like, inside jokes too that we have. But one with you, Ray, one that will like forever crack me up. So Ray and I, like, throughout college, like, there would be certain days where we would go out and get our nails done. And so we would, like, after a class, we would go to the nail salon, we get our nails done. And there's one time where we I got my, like, fingernails and my toes done. And so, like, obviously when you get your toes done, like, you have to wear sandals so, like, your toes don't get messed up. And after, Ray and I went to Olive Garden to eat, and we're just having a good time talking, and we're, like, you know, sitting in Olive Garden enjoying our meal, and, you know,
enjoying that Olive Garden salad.
Salad, yes.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of a heaven sent, I mean, can we say? Jesus. Okay, sorry, go on.
Yeah. So then, you know, we pay for our food and it's time for us to go, and we stand up and we start walking out of the restaurant. My sandal, like.
And literally, this would only happen to Gabby. I was literally like, oh my god, this poor girl.
My sandal, like, where my toes, like, go, like, it breaks. And I can't put it back together. And we're sitting on the other side of the restaurant. So I'm like, I can't walk barefoot in this restaurant. And so, I kid you not, it took us, like, 15, 20 minutes to get out of the restaurant, because I'm like stepping and then dragging my right foot, and then I step forward and I drag my right foot, and my like sandals all like flying everywhere, and the workers were just like staring at me like, is she okay? And I kid you not, it was such a challenge to get out of that restaurant. And Ray, like, we were just dying laughing on the way out of the restaurant, but it's not like I can take off my shoe, because that's not
Chad and Terry.
Yeah, in a restaurant. So I literally had to step and drag my foot for like 15 minutes trying to make my way out of this restaurant. That like memory will always crack me up because only me. Like that don't.
Yeah, only you. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, this poor girl.
Oh my god.
Man.
Oh, that was a good one. Okay. Thank you for that. That was a good laugh. Yeah, that was funny. Okay. You can't say one with Dani though? Come on. I know there's
so
literally so many.
There's so many. I'm trying to think. Well, okay, I actually thought of one earlier, but now it like left my mind. But like when Dani and I are, because there's just so many, but when Dani and I also too, like if we're out and it's late, we get super delirious, like super delirious, and anything is funny to us. There's one time I remember though, like Dani and I, like we were coming back from a trip, and we were so delirious and being like we're laughing. We're trying not to be loud, but like we're laughing because any little thing is funny to us. And so I guess the woman who was sitting in front of us like heard us laughing and like took it personal for some reason because she thought we were laughing at her. So she straight up like gets up from her seat and turns around. She's like, "Is something funny?" And I look over at Dani, and Dani's like, and then Dani's like, "No, ma'am." She's like, "No." Dani was like, "No, ma'am, I'm sorry. Like, it's late. We're just super delirious." And then the lady looks at Dani. She's like, "Ha."
Yes. She straight up went, "Ha ha," and turned it out. And I looked at Gab, and I was like,
we both looked at each other and we're like, but then that made everything so much more funny.
Who does that?
Yeah,
it was like midnight. It was like midnight, 1 a.m. Of course, we're tired coming back from a trip, and we were watching Monsters Inc. and the TV in front of us. You know, everything was just funny. We couldn't stop laughing. And we were like, calm down.
Yeah, like nothing relating to her. But
you're like close your mouth, lady. A flag's gonna go in.
We're loud. We were very considerate. We knew she was trying to sleep, you know, but we're like, you know, our shoulders bouncing, like trying to like hold it in. But I don't know. This lady was on something else.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hilarious.
That's a good one.
I forgot about that.
Okay, Dani.
What's funny about Gabs and I's relationship is like we've always bonded over like Disney Channel and like the OG Cheetah Girls.
Pause.
And, like, High School Musical. Oh yeah.
You guys, they're the only ones. What are you laughing at?
Pause, and then you just have nail.
I hate it because you know I talk with my hands and I freaking hate how they look today. Anyways, these two also can quote any Disney movie, like can quote it, and I'm just like, oh my god, they know like the back of their hand.
Okay, but that's you in one show.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
So,
but anyways, but with any Disney movie though, Okay, just to continue. Okay.
Yes, that's for sure. We do have a very extensive knowledge when it comes to Disney songs. But, you know, we always used to go to Disney together. Like, sometimes we just go, like, just take our little trip. And just to keep ourselves, like, entertained in any line, we always, like, harmonize and sing together. Like, we try to do it quiet, but, you know, people are still, like, trying to look. And we're like, all right, sing this Disney song, but as, like, Mariah Carey. So we're always like, like we're going off. We're like, all right, now Christina Aguilera.
We're like Ariana Grande.
Oh, Ariana Grande. Daddy, you do a good Ariana Grande. Oh, Dani does a good Ariana. No, come on.
Oh no, I'm too nervous now. I can't do it.
No.
I'll sound cringe. I can't.
No, she sounds just like legit. Gabby, you know. I'm not over exaggerating. It's like, oh shoot, okay, Dani.
Like, is that Ariana?
Those whistle tones, though, be cracking everything. No, but anyway, I think that's something hilarious that Gabs and I literally we always do is just sing and harmonize with each other, even though like she actually sounds like professional. And we're like it's just so funny.
That's why I had to put it in your intro, because literally all the time you guys are always singing, and then I'm like the rapper in there, and I'm like
Ray does the ad libs. Ray's all about the ad libs.
Exactly.
When Ray, like a song comes on, she's all of a sudden like this ghetto, like you would think she's like from the hood, like, you know, and then she's gonna be in like a real situation. School. Yeah, she'd be in a real situation and she'd probably let me run and hide or like.
There's no way.
Yeah, which I think it's cute, it's hilarious, and I love that. And she called me a chola on last week's podcast, guys. So.
She is. Yeah. She's a chola, not me.
Oh my gosh.
We love
that. You act more like a chola.
I mean, I have my moments. I'm dynamic, okay?
She'd be the, oh, you want to start something? Raylene, there you go.
I'm like, you can handle it.
There you go.
You know, my friend, you want to start something with me? And I'm like, great, go and get her.
And of course, I'm not going to say no. I'm just kidding. We're exaggerating, guys. I can't fight. We're exaggerating.
We both can't fight. We can't fight.
I grew up a princess. What are you talking about?
Anyways, back to Dani. Okay, so Dani, favorite memory.
She just said.
Okay, now with with you two, like a story.
Oh, okay,
again?
there you go. I got it.
Story time, yeah.
Okay. Right. So, I mean, with Gabs, like she said, there's just so many, like, a lot of insights. We'd go over the time, but with you two, with you two specifically, Gabby and Russ, it was last year when I graduated in 2019. You guys came to Modesto for my graduation party. And
no.
Oh no, we're not going there.
Okay, we're not going there. Okay, cool. Just
this is the Friday before, because my party was on a Saturday. So every year, my grandpa has this 57 classic car. It's super beautiful, and like my hometown, they have like a graffiti parade downtown Modesto, and so like everyone brings their like super nice classic cars.
Like everyone who lives there has one. Every single citizen of Modesto has like a nice classic, and so the streets that day were filled with just beautiful cars.
Like it was hundreds and hundreds of cars, and like OG, like beautiful
low riders, like such nice cars.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And so my grandpa loves to bring his car every year.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
We all did we were cruising through the parade. They were in the car with me, so we're all in the parade, like waving to people. It was pretty funny. But you know, that car's so dang old. It's literally like 57, and so it's had its moments of breaking down. So after the parade, we drive home, and my parents live on like this ranch. So it's like a house out in the middle of nowhere, and there's like tons of walnut trees around. So guiding up to my house, there's just this super long
and mention how pitch black it was that night. I just want to put that out there, okay?
Yeah, literally pitch black. And so we're driving, and we turn right to get on that straight street. And right as we turn right, the car just like breaks down, and we're all in pitch black, and we're like, mind you, it's us three, my two brothers, and my grandpa. My grandpa was drunk as heck. He was having a good old time. So he was like, "Oh no, we broke down." And like he and my brother were arguing, and we're like, "Ah, crud!" And you know, we had to go down that whole street to get back to my house.
Such a long street, like the longest street, dirt road. And I just want to give a little context too. Literally one small road, and then it's like nothing but long, like big trees and like big plants, like a cornfield on each side. So you don't know what is in there. And I'm just okay.
We're literally out in the country, so it was pitch black. So Gabby, Ray, and I, and my two brothers, we had to go out and push the car like all the way down the street, and my grandpa was in the front, like trying to steer it. He's like, you know. And so we're just going, So we're pushing, and like sometimes there's animals that like live around there, but like you can't see anything. So all of a sudden we're pushing from our left side. This freaking goat, I kid you not, like comes running up and like jumps towards the gate. It's like, what? And Ray legit like jumped on top of me. He's like, goat that comes out of his mouth.
It was a goat, Ray.
I've never like witnessed Ray that scared before in my life.
My heart literally sank. It was literally a scary movie scene waiting to happen. Like, we were all gonna get killed. I was waiting. And then it's funny too because right when we turned that street, somebody in the car was joking, was like, wouldn't it be so funny if the car just broke down on us in pitch black?
It was Gabby.
I was like, Gabby, don't freaking say that. And then the next thing you know,
Gabby speaks something into existence, and then like an hour later it happened. I just gotta say that it's happened multiple times. So this wasn't something new. But anyway, yeah, she said that and then it happened. But Ray, we were dying. Like, Ray flipped out. And it was hilarious because that goat freaking came out of nowhere. Like, a goat so random. And, like, perched up on the fence. And then Ray freaking went over to the other tree. She was, like, out of there. Like,
I was so scared. My heart literally sank to my stomach because it was also it was like a white goat.
Yeah.
So it looked like a ghost.
And it had like, you could see like the eyes once it came, because my papa had like kind of like the dim lights on so we could see a little bit down that street while we were like pushing it. But yeah, it was crazy. And Ray, I'll never forget that. But we're all pushing, trying to like get that car back. We eventually did, but it took us a while.
It took us a long while. Like huffing and puffing. Oh my god!
We're talking about Ray's stories. Ray's gonna hate me because we were talking about this weekend. So we went on. We went to Stonefire. I'm sorry, Ray. I have to do the Stonefire video.
I freaking hate you.
So we went to Stonefire, and it was like a double date, whatever. And Ray was like, "I'm gonna go get soda," and we're like, "Okay." And I can't. Oh my god. So I was like, what's taking her so long? And then her and Edgar both were gone for so long. So I'm like, where are they? Like, what's happening? And then they come back, and Ray has ice on her head. And or on her knee. I don't know. She had ice on her head or her knee.
On my head.
Was it on your head? And me and Jonathan were like, what happened? Like, what just happened? And Edgar was like, I came out of the bathroom to find her on the floor outside.
Well, no, this is what had happened. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Let me tell you what we heard, and then you go ahead and you clear up the facts, because the facts were like the same. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "I went outside to look for a table for us to sit out there. Mind you, we already had this big booth, and we were all seated. Our food was already coming. So why she was looking for a table outside, I don't know." And she was like, "And I tripped on a plant and I fell."
No, okay. This is what had really happened, okay? We went to Stonefire and we got seated or whatnot, like Ray was saying, and we did. We had a booth and the food was already on the way, but I had to pee. So I went to the restroom. When I came out, I went outside because I thought we were sitting, for some reason, I thought we were sitting outside in the patio area. But we were sitting inside in a booth.
Mind you, the booth is here and the bathroom's right here. So she could see us from the bathroom.
And I just like walked past them, and that's why I was taking so. That's why Edgar was like, "What the heck? Like, why are you taking so?" And he saw me. While he's like, "I'm gonna go get her." So he goes and I push the patio door open, and I trip on like the step, like that little like. I tripped and I hit my lip on the big plant vase.
There you go.
And Edgar was right when Edgar was going to like say like, hey, like, where are you going? That's when I had fallen. So it looked so bad because it looked like you pushed me, and everybody was like, oh, and it was like such a loud, like, I just fell straight like head first. And he's like, what the heck? And I was like, oh my god, I don't know why I thought we were freaking outside. And he's like, he was so pissed.
He was
and
so
then
mad.
He was so, because I made him look really bad. Like the workers like rushed to me with ice and stuff, and they were like, what happened? Like questioning him, and he was just like, she fell. Like, I don't know, like she fell. You know, and I was just like, oh my god, like what the heck just happened? It was the most embarrassing moment of my life. I was just like, oh my god.
No.
Yeah, Edgar was pissed. Edgar was so pissed.
What made it funny, like, obviously after the fact that, like, are you okay? Like, are you good? Do we have to leave? Like, let me see your lip. Do you need stitches? Like, that whole thing settled. What made it so funny is sorry, Edgar, I love you, but is that Edgar was so mad. And I think that's so funny, because he was sitting there drinking his, like, beer and eating his salad, like, I can't believe he did that. Like, the whole time, me and Jonathan were just like, okay.
And I was like, I'm so sorry I embarrassed you. It was the worst.
Edgar.
I'm the worst person. I'm the worst person. Anyways,
no,
it was the worst.
I'm sorry. When we went to the mall, I don't know if you guys have been to the Arcadia Mall, but there's a big horse outside, like a horse statue. And we went to go see a movie, and for whatever reason, like, we were young, we were like probably 19, 20, if that. Yeah. And for some reason, Ray was like, this would be such a cute picture. And I'm like, what? She's like, let's get on the horse. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. She's like, it's okay, we'll be quick. And none of our other friends wanted to do it. And of course, me being her little hype man, I was like, hey, let's go, let's do it real quick. So I'm thinking, okay, we're gonna jump up there, we're gonna take a picture real quick, and we're gonna get down, right? We get up there, and I'm sitting on the top of the horse, and she's behind me, and we're trying to be secretive. She goes, whoa! Like, super loud. And I was like, Ray, stop. Like, get off. You're going to get us arrested. But she's sitting behind me, so I couldn't get off. And she's like, yeah! I'm like, Ray, leave.
Okay, let's mention that horse was freaking tall.
Like, horse alone,
it was like
a big, like, 4 feet by itself, and then it's on a planter that's like another 4 feet tall. So it's like, we're like 8 feet in the air.
Tall.
And she's just, wow, holding on to me. So of course, if she's falling, she's gonna pull me down with her. And of course, our other friends are just laughing. They're recording it, Snapchatting it. So like, now we have this funny memory, but all I could think of in the moment was like, this girl's gonna get me freaking arrested. Like, we're going to jail tonight. And what am I gonna call my mom? Yeah, me and Ray got on the horse at Santa Anita, and now we're in jail. Like,
oh my gosh.
You guys know I'm always down for a good time, you know?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
One thing. Okay, wait. That story also kind of triggered. Ray, you and I talked about the story, the Hydro Flask story. You have to tell that story.
That is my favorite story of us. My favorite story of us. So yes, I will tell it. Okay. So so me with Hydro Flask, just to give everybody out there a little explanation. I have literally owned like 5 Hydro Flasks in my life because I lose them within weeks of getting them. And you have no idea how much I hype up like my love for Hydro Flasks, and I'm like, this is my baby, like I'm gonna take care of it, not gonna lose this one this time, like this is the one that I'm gonna have forever, right? It never happens. But you know what? I have had my current Hydro Flask for a very long time because thank you to quarantine, I don't leave my house.
Wait, so I was gonna say, hold on, before you go, did you wash it?
I did wash it.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll go into that story after this story because it's funny. We have to say it.
So in college, right? I had just experienced another loss of my Hydro Flask, and I was really upset. It was like really still fresh for me, and we were at practice. Me and Gabs at dance practice at night, and it was already like 9 o'clock, I think, at this point because we were almost done with practice. And with practice, we had the team split up, and one part of the team learned Gabby's choreo, and another part of the team learned Julia's choreo, our friend Julia. And I was in Gabby's part. So me and Gabby went out to that the amphitheater that we showed them the other day with the stairs.
Yeah.
So we were out in the amphitheater on the stage practicing and whatnot. After we were going back into our practice room, a big group of us were like walking there back into the room, and I saw, well, who saw it first, me or you, Gabs?
I think you did.
I saw an Hydro Flask sitting by itself on the brick, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a Hydro Flask. Oh my gosh, it's meant for me, you know? And I was telling Gabs, I was like, let's steal it. And Gabs, being my day one, always down for me. She's like, okay, I got you, I'll steal it. Mind you, we're super loud. Like, we're loud, okay? And she's like, okay, I got you. She runs to it. What?
Wait, hold on. Because, mind you, so you're going up a flight of stairs, but I'm taking a different direction. Like, our group split up. So you're going up a flight of stairs, I'm going this way, and you said, oh my gosh,
I yelled it to Gabs.
It's like hanging over the stairs. You're like, let's take it.
I screamed. I was like, let's steal it to Gabs, because I'm like so into it, right? I'm like, let's steal it, Gabs. And she's on the floor. She's like looking at us. She's like, okay, I got you, right? She runs to it. And we just see a boy on the phone walk towards us and looks at us like, excuse, like that was his hydro flask. Like we heard our plan to steal his hydro flask because he was nowhere near it. So he walks, and Gabby was like, oh, and we look at each other and we run. We're like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. We ran, and I was just like, you know what, Gabs, that is how I know you're a true one. You would
so
steal
funny.
for me. It was hilarious. And then we go into practice, right? And the other dance group is still like very serious, trying to learn their piece, like really concentrated. And me and Gabs, because like Gabby said, we took like separate routes, so we like ended up on separate ends of like the like room that we were practicing in. So I showed up first because I ran to the room faster, and I showed up and I was just waiting for her to enter the room too, and I was like biting my tongue. Right when she enters the room, the ugliest sound, not even a laugh, the ugliest sound, I like saw her, and it just like, I was like, like super loud, running through across, and our friend Julia was like, shut up, like I'm teaching. Like she was so pissed because I was just like still on, like I was so hyped. I was just like, nothing could ruin this moment. It was so funny.
Oh my god.
So funny.
No, but
Oh
I think
my
it's
God.
so funny because like I would leave like my whole backpack with my laptop, whatever, and just like the cafe and go to the bathroom, but I would take my hydro with me. Like I wasn't scared of someone stealing like my laptop or anything. I was scared of them taking my freaking hydro.
Those are a hot amenity. I have gotten my hydros taken at APU. They are a hot amenity there.
And I think that's why I started taking it with me, because I think yours got stolen. And so I was like, nope, this is the $40. This is staying with me. You know, forget the $2,000 laptop. Let's take the $40 water bottle.
Gotta keep the hydro flask.
But hydro flask story. So when Ray was here this weekend, we went to go take like pictures, like friendship pictures, and we went to the dog park in my apartment complex. And the way my complex is set up, there's like a big just like grass area with a playground, and then there's a gate into the dog park. So there was a bunch of kids, and as soon as
By themselves,
and they could have been, the oldest was probably what, like 7, 8, the oldest, and he had a bunch of other little kids with him. So the youngest was probably like 6, and the oldest was maybe like 8, and it was a group of like 4 or 5 of them. And as soon as we like walked into the big field, they were on the playground, and all you hear is ha 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 ha, like fake laughing. And Edgar was like, they're laughing at us. And me and Ray, I had just fallen off of the the walkway.
Oh, you tripped.
I tripped off the walkway because there's like a big hole under like the step, and so I was like, oh, they're probably just laughing because I just like almost killed myself, right? And Edgar's like, no, like they're just like want attention. I was like, okay, so who cares? Like me and Ray are like, whatever, who cares? They're kids. And so we go, we do our thing, and then they start making their way to like the dog park.
Towards us,
Towards us, with no masks, no nothing, no parents, and we were just like, okay.
because we were trying to keep our distance, Corona times.
And
you know, we don't want to be near anybody.
We had my dog with us, so we're like, okay, it's not weird. We're like in the dog park, we have a dog, like, you know. And so then they come up to the gate, and they're like, I think they're taking best friend pictures. Oh, like talking loud, but like not talking to us, and just being like loud and obnoxious and talking about us. And all 4 of us were like, okay, they're kids, like they're kids. Yeah. And then they ask, or our dog's running around, we're doing our thing, whatever. And then they come into the dog park, and out of the corner of my eye, all I see is like these kids opening the gate and my dog going that way. So of course my first instinct is like, they're gonna let my dog out. Right? And so luckily my boyfriend was like near the gate, whatever, he shut it, because they left it open. I don't know if Ray saw that, but after they came into the dog park, they had left the gate open. And so luckily Jonathan was like near the gate to like close it. And then they're asking Jonathan like all these questions, whatever, try to talk. And then this little girl was like, oh, your dog looks mean. And Edgar turns around and goes, she said something like, oh, your dog looks mean. And Ray's like, oh, he's fine. And then as the little girl's walking by, Edgar goes, oh, he's only bit one kid. And the little girl
he was like, I was like, he's not mean. And then Edgar was like, no, he only ate one kid. Like, no biggie. And now
he was like, he's only bit one kid, right? And then Jonathan goes, yeah, but he ate the other.
Oh, and was like,
and me
like
and
she
Ray were
legit.
just like we couldn't believe they had done that to like this little girl. And so then her brother, I guess, was sitting like next to them, and he was like got up because he heard us say that, so he got up to like move away too, and he like I guess lost his balance, full on just grabs Ray's hydro flask.
But the top, because you know how I have my straw, he like put his dirty hand on my straw, and I was like, oh.
No, but you didn't notice it, and Jonathan was like,
I did it.
Jonathan was like, you might want to wash that because, you know, Rona, and I don't know where he's been. And
he put his whole hand on your thing.
I'm like, okay, kid, like, I know you're a kid, but you're falling. There's a bench. Why are you grabbing the water bottle to catch your balance? Like,
where are your parents at this time?
And then there was two other ladies that came in with their dogs, and like they were bugging them too. And Jonathan had said, what did Jonathan say? He was like, oh, Ballast, are you ready to go? Like talking to the dog. Or he said, oh no, he asked the other lady, he's like, oh, what kind of dog do you have? And at first we thought like, oh, maybe these ladies are like these kids' parents because they like look to like be coming like together. And this little boy turns around, don't be asking my mama for things. And we thought he was talking to John. He landed up talking to like the other little kid, but we were like, oh my
that's
God.
right. That's
because I was like, what? Like, excuse.
Yeah, like he turned toward us. So he turned and he was like, don't be talking to my mom like that or something like that. We were like, oh my God.
And I was like waiting for that lady to like say something like, hello, reprimand your kid. And then they landed up leaving after too. So I was like, what the heck? And me and Ray were talking. We're like, how do you just let your kids like wander like this knowing Corona's happening, all this sex trafficking, kidnapping that's going on? And like, yeah, we live in like a semi-decent complex, but you don't know all these neighbors. Like there's like 300 apartments here. Like,
exactly.
I don't know. I just thought it was crazy. But the Edgar and Jonathan, no, he only ate one kid. He's only been one. God. I was like, and if my dog, that's great. My dog is the sweetest dog ever. Like, he won't do anything.
But I think it was just because they didn't want the kids to be near us. You know, they just wanted they wanted them to keep a distance. So they were like, no, like they, you know.
I was not expecting that from either one of them. So when they said it, me and Ray were like,
what?
Yeah.
I couldn't keep it in. I was like, I just started laughing, and I think the kids like got annoyed that we were laughing back at them. But that little girl's face.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my God.
Okay, so thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, thank you so
we have
much.
definitely taken a long, a lot of your time, so we don't want to keep you. But this was so much fun. You guys know how much I love you guys. So thank you again. If you guys want to come back on, chit chat with us, maybe do another cute topic. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Or just a whole story time even.
Or a whole story time.
We could definitely do that, whatever y'all want.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I'm always down to here.
Oh, shoot. You know what I forgot to mention? Gabs is our #1 fan of this podcast. She literally hypes up every episode. She's always like, I watched today's episode, I watched today's episode. She is the only person that quotes our podcast to me. Like, literally, we were talking just like talking as friends, and she's like, yeah, like how you said on your podcast the other day. And I was like, oh my God.
I'm like, I don't think I can do it.
I love it.
She told us that because, we were talking about it, and I was like, dude, I can't even do that. And I watched the videos like 10 times during editing, and I don't think I can even do that.
Yes.
She's on it. She's on it.
She is. And she's always giving me ideas, too, so I love that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So last week's video, guys, this was Gabby's idea, because this is going to
You'll
be
see Gabby.
Yeah, so... Yeah, so that great video was all Gabby's idea. But yeah, thanks so much for being on, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Love you guys so much.
Love you.
Love you.
Yeah, we'll talk to all of you followers next week. Bye, guys.